And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Today's satellite imagery showing a pretty strong front moving up here. Actually a wave on the main front here, pulling northward. They're bringing strong winds to the eastern Aleutians, Pribilof Islands, and spreading into the western Alaska Peninsula today. And some heavy snow shower action here from just south of Adak back up into Chimney-Attu. Otherwise, eastern part of the state, clear and cold, and still some areas of light snow over the western part of the state there with some clouds and wet conditions over the southeast coast. As you can see, moisture pulling northwestward there from southern areas. Another batch down here coming across the Queen Charlottes. They'll be sliding on up, and some of the mid and high level clouds getting in the eastern Copper River Basin areas. On the chart today, you've got low pressure coming up off the coast of the Panhandle, bringing wet and breezy conditions to many locations, or the heaviest precipitation down to the south. Craig picking up about an inch of rain today in the 12-hour period ending at 3 p.m., while Ketchikan had about half an inch of rainfall, and Cake about 4/10 of an inch, and then lighter amounts up to the north. By contrast, Juneau is picking up 0.04 of an inch during the same time period. And that cutting off right around Yakutat there, so dry along the North Gulf Coast with a fair amount of clearing here, really through the central and eastern interior areas, and even some clearing showing up over the Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta areas, Kodiak Island, and areas of light snow here with anywhere from a trace to maybe an inch or so falling from Norton Sound up across Seward Peninsula into the northwest part of the state along the coast there with a weak system. And then the front out here to the west, that brought 79 mile per hour peak wind gusts in Nikolsky today, while the Pribilofs had winds gusting to 55 miles an hour out of the south and southeast. Winds on the increase, Alaska Peninsula, Cold Bay picking up gusts to about 45 miles per hour here, with snow changing to rain over the eastern Aleutians, but a lot of snow showers back to the west there in toward Chimney-Attu. Otherwise, tonight, high pressure over the eastern part of the state, actually kind of dominating the entire interior here, so temperatures well below zero again, all the way down to the North Gulf Coast and just about out to the southwest coast as well. Although clouds and some wind starts to increase late tonight along the coastline there, especially in Nunivak Island. Wind and snow changing to rain for the Pribilof Islands. Look for possible wind gusts to 55, maybe 60 miles an hour around Cold Bay here out of the southeast there, with snow changing to rain. Lighter winds and more showery conditions for the eastern Aleutians, and those showers turn to just plain snow from about Adak and continuing out to the west. Southeast coast, periods of light rain, and the next system down there slides northward tomorrow. That'll bring another round of heavier precipitation into the southern areas, and a day much like today, all the way up into Lincoln Island Glacier Bay. Some of this moisture pushing into the eastern Copper River Basin and possibly reaching Cape Yakataga or so here along the North Gulf Coast, and that's about it. Mostly clear and cold over the interior with varying amounts of cloudiness, especially on the east side here, drying out with offshore flow here to the west, but increasing clouds along the southwest coast as that front tries to approach. Low center tracks up to the eastern Aleutians, periods of rain there, or rain and snow mixed. Periods of rain and snow also along that front as it kind of stalls out over the Alaska Peninsula. And lots of snow showers and gusty winds out over the western Aleutian areas. Winds not too bad over the interior, light and variable for the North Slope and Arctic coast. And a little breezy here over the Copper River Basin areas there, but nothing too terribly strong, but light winds, Kodiak Island. Next day, that front washes out, and that may spread some precipitation into Kodiak Island. Another portion kind of swings back to the northeast there as another front develops and pulls eastward, bringing more precipitation to the eastern Aleutians and Alaska Peninsula. Lots of snow showers, gusty winds, central Aleutians westward to the Komodorskis. Now some snow chances there along the mid and upper Yukon River Valley area into the Yukon Flats, maybe the eastern Arctic coast areas, and also some moisture in the Copper River Basin, periods of light snow there. Prince William Sound, periods of light snow also, but just kind of a cloudier day for south central Alaska and the Matanuska-Susitna Valley areas. Mixed rain and snow for the eastern North Gulf Coast and the Panhandle as this front just kind of stalls out over the area there, keeping it wet, at least through the first day of the weekend. Lows tonight anywhere from 25 to 45 below over the eastern interior, north of the Alaska Range. And again, below zero here for the Susitna Valley, Kenai Peninsula areas. 20 to 30 below in the Copper River Basin, upper 20s, northern Panhandle, 40s, central and southern areas, and 0 to 10 along the southwest coast, lower 30s for the Pribilofs, upper 20s, lower 30s, central and western Aleutians, milder here to the east, and then highs for tomorrow, 0 to 10 for south central Alaska, but north and west of the Alaska Range below zero, edging up into the teens here along the southwest coast, and 0 to 10 above for St. Lawrence Island and the Seward Peninsula, with highs again 15 to 25 below over the eastern interior, and lower 50s now showing up over the southern Panhandle, Craig, Klawak, over toward Ketchikan, into the lower 50s, only the upper 20s for Kodiak Island, and then lows for Saturday morning, back below zero for south central Alaska again, but right around 11 for Homer, 20 for Kodiak, and 10 to 20 below for the Copper River Basin, 25 to 30 below for the Kuskokwim Valley, warming to near zero out toward the southwest coast, and below zero readings all the way up to the North Slope and Arctic coast, 30s to lower 40s for the southeast coast, and then the highs for Saturday, mid-30s for Adak and Atka, upper 30s eastern Aleutians, mid-30s Pribilofs, and a little milder here, maybe into the mid-teens now for south central Alaska, upper 20s for Homer, upper 30s Kodiak Island, mid to upper 40s southern southeast coast, 30s to the north, and some areas here over the eastern interior anywhere from 5 below to 10 above.